your opinion, why is no one in Washington pushing to abolish the IRS and replace it with the fair tax? Jeanette Daniels.
The cynical answer is because the IRS benefits the status quo. I am a proponent of a flat tax. I believe, this is kind of, I'm going out, this may give me some booze, but that's okay. I need to be transparent, because this is what the process is about. I believe in a flat tax and no deductions. I don't think somebody who's married or single ought to have an advantage in the tax code just because they're married or single. I don't think somebody who doesn't have children ought to have an advantage over somebody who doesn't have children in the tax code. I think everybody who earns a dime ought to pay a tax because they're the beneficiary of the public good. Everybody benefits. I mean, when we walk out of here and get on the roads, everybody's benefiting from those roads. So why are some people exempt from that, participating in that benefit through the levying of the tax, and some aren't? And I think the reason we have, in my mind, the reason we have exemptions is because we have a progressive tax code. In other words, the more you make, the more punishing the tax code is on you. And so we give people these exemptions and pay high-priced accountants to figure out how they can squirm through loopholes. A flat tax, no loopholes, no exemptions, and a balanced budget amendment, and the government lives within its means just like you and I do.
I have a personal follow-up question on that. Would the flat tax abolish the IRS?
I think the flat tax effectively would abolish the IRS, or certainly reduce it by 99.9%. And so the only reason, and again, I think, what are we hiring? 20,000 new IRS agents just to administer Obamacare? Something like that? And so it's one of the fastest growing federal agencies in the United States government. And the fact is, if you got a department within another department, the IRS within the Department of Treasury, that is that big, they wield an incredible amount of power over people like the Chattanooga Tea Party, when all you were trying to get, Mark, was a status for tax deduction status as a charitable organization or something to that effect.
501c4.
C4, excuse me, thank you, not C3, but C4. But my point is they strung that out, and now we know that the IRS just recently knew about it back in 2012. So I think absolving the IRS would be a great thing, and you could do it very easily by going to a flat tax.